Yeah, hey folks, it is Mrs. Johnson with the Agro Wisdom channel. We're changing it up a little bit this week because I am tired of doing nerd things. So I'm gonna tell you some stuff about me. Uh, we're gonna start my storytime series with how monks got me into OSU. Wild tagline, I know. But I promise you it sort of checks out. So let's talk about it. Context. I had just applied to OSU and I was awaiting a final decision. I was in my final semester at Chico State with essentially no backup plan. This is me, uh, like 6 months ago, because it's October of 2025. And they let me know in like April-ish, because I graduated in May or maybe they let me know like end of April. I think it was the end of April, beginning of May, something like that. And anyway, and I turned in my application like end of February. So it's somewhere between like end of February and like definitely the middle of May that the monks did this. So springtime, 2025. Look at me. These are my senior photos from undergraduate. I look so cute. My husband did such an amazing job on them. Anyway, introduction, spring 2025. I said that. I was on a field trip for my fruit nut class in my final semester. Where? To go see monks doing fruit nut stuff. Who are the monks? Let's talk about that. Because you know a lot about me. So, let's go snoop. BRB. We're gonna go look at their website. Look at me. I already have it pulled up like a good doodle. Okay, so we in Chico State went to Vina. Oh, that's moving really fast. To Vina, California, which is like technically Tehama County, but really close to Chico State, um, to visit monks at the Abbey of Our Lady in New Clairvaux. I can actually show you the monk that gave us a tour here in a second. So these actually, what I learned is all these little monks. This guy right here in the blue shirt. So they don't usually wear like their fancy little monk outfits when they do farm stuff because it's dangerous in the equipment because as you can see, it's all like baggy. And so they've had a couple of monks get in some pretty bad accidents with the farm equipment. So they don't wear their, I forget what they call it because I wasn't raised Catholic, but they don't wear their fancy little church clothes, their fancy little monk clothes that make them look like uh, the monks. And when I first showed up, they reminded me so much of the monk bear in the one Disney movie with the fox. That's totally a play on Robin Hood. I forget what movie that is, but very much reminded me of him and that little monk that I pointed out to you. Uh, Very wonderful, very sweet, very kind, and also very funny. Um, this guy, I forget his name, but they were like Brother John, and it was very sweet. I really enjoyed it. Um, let's see. Welcome to the Abbey of Our Lady of New Clairvaux. The Brothers of Abbey of New Clairvaux are a community of Trappist monks living a life of contemplative prayer and work. This abbey belongs to the worldwide Catholic order of monks called the Order of Cistercians of the Strict Observance. So, I also learned that there's like different kinds of monks, which I didn't know because, again, I'm not really religious. We'll get into that in a second. Um, but these monks don't do church stuff. They do hold services and stuff that like I think the public can attend. But it's very small and they have like this really awesome, like one of a kind, like really, really old church that they literally transported from like halfway across the world and built. Really cool. You should go look. Um, but yeah, so like their entire job, because they don't like most monks and nuns and stuff do like church stuff, I guess, and they live off. like the funds that people give the church. So then the church runs well, and like they're the people helping keep the church clean and like helping with prayer and like the eating of the bread and the wine. I think I don't know if Catholics do that, but like they help with that stuff. And so they get paid the like donations that people pay to the church. Because of the way these monks are set up, the Trappist monks, they like don't socialize with the public. Well, they do public tours and they farm for work, or they don't work. They farm for money to keep the Trappist monks living and stuff because their entire job is not serving like the public of the church. It's actually praying for the church, um, which is, we'll get into that. But anyway, we went there because they farm stuff and they're actually like award winning in their wine. So they do wine and they grow fruits and vegetables and stuff for like the monks, but they sell a lot of wine, which I don't know is weird for me as like someone that's not religious to see monks grow wine, which is like and sell wine and be really good at making wine because I think of wine as like an anti-religion thing. Like you don't drink wine if you're in religion, but anyway. They do day visits and tours. They do like this cool little retreat. You can become a monk. There's actually like they actually have a thing now where like there's not young monks becoming monks anymore. So I unfortunately cannot become a monk, a Trappist monk, and live my days in uh contemplative prayer and farm work. Although that sounds like a lovely experience. It sounds like a lovely place to be. Maybe in a different life, I'm a little like Brother John or something. I don't know. It very sweet, very endearing people. Um, so let's look. Uh, the Trapped life. They have very stereotypical stuff about monks. Hold on. Sorry, these lights are motion censored, and I'm not moving enough. Apparently for these lights. Um, yeah, and they're super cool. What is the Trappist way of life? Dun, dun,
Our
dun.
way of life is consecration to God, expressed in fraternal union, solitude and silence, in prayer,
Mhm.
work and a disciplined life,
Farming,
by
aka.
apostolic fruitfulness. It causes the mystical body of Christ to grow.
Okay, I had not watched that before. Uh, but yeah, they like farm stuff. Let's see. Can I find stuff about their planned giving? I don't know. Hold on. Abbey of New Clairvaux. Okay, I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna stop screen sharing really quick. Hold on. Because I'm gonna go rogue and Google something really fast. Uh Abbey of Our Lady. New Clairvaux wine. Let's see what comes up. I'm not sharing this because I should get into the practice of not sharing. Okay. Sharing my screen when I present things. So hold on. I'll bring it back. Share screen. Okay, you can see it now. Okay. So this is their website. I probably could have. So we actually went to the vineyard to see this stuff. So they actually work with, I guess you would call them civilians, to like they farm stuff and then there's other people that like do the like businessy wine stuff because they're like good at doing the businessy wine stuff. And the monks are like, I just want to be a little farmer guy that just like farms things. I don't want to have to deal with selling things. I'm just a little farmer guy and I want to pray to God all day. So I just want to farm and pray to God. and let someone else handle the like business stuff of like selling wine. So they do that. And this is like they're really good at making wine, apparently. They have really good soils for making wine. Um, and they have a really long, the place here has a really long history of making wine. See, more than 150 years, some of California's most innovative and industrious winemakers, blah, 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 blah. So it was like the biggest wine place in like the world, I think. Yes. Okay. So in 1881, Stanford purchased the land, expanding it to over 55,000 acres, began construction on what would become the world's largest wine operation. Uh, Annual production of more than 2 million gallons. Uh, and the vineyards stretched nearly 4,000 acres. Isn't that crazy? And that was before Prohibition. Uh, and then it was bought in 1955 by the monks, uh, and became the Abbey of New Clairvaux. So, and then it goes in, and then this is the winemaker. Shout out to her. She does a great job, apparently. I don't like wine, so I can't say that. And I'm also old enough to say that. I'm an adult. Anyway, let's jump back to this. Not this one, this one. Now that we've learned why I went to the monk place and what they do and all the things, we're gonna present this one more time. Okay. Now that we're snooping, we did our snooping online. We're back. I had two options, right? Because they walked us around and they showed us the little farm things, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna show you the like historic church that we're really proud of, and also like we do prayer stuff. That's our entire job is to do little farm guy stuff, and also pray for people. So we are open to taking prayers. That's literally why we farm, so we could spend all day praying. And so I had two options. I had like one, don't write a prayer card, and two, write a prayer card asking them to help me get an OSU because that was my biggest conquest at the time. And I didn't have anything else to pray about because my life is pretty good, for the most part. And so I was like, I'm really stressed out about this getting an OSU thing, and I could just like ask them because that is literally their job. Their job is to like pray to things and pray to God and be like, hey, bro, like help girl out, right? Like this is their job. And apparently they're good at it because they're Trappist monks. And the Catholic Church has decided that they need to dedicate whole people to doing that and a whole bunch of people to doing that, which is cool. Uh, and they're a G because apparently, as I said, massive headline of the day. They got me an OSU. Uh, so dun dun dun. Obviously, data. We have to talk about it. One, I'm an ex-Mormon, so and that's a whole nother story for another day. Uh, but I'm an ex-Mormon, so that made like asking people to pray for me weird. Uh, because I was like, I'm not religious, I don't know. But as it says, they were really nice and really sweet, and like their entire job is to like pray for people and hope the best for people and help people get through a tough time and like pray to the gods that they know and believe in their heart to be real, to help people that are asking for help. And that was really sweet and really endearing to me. And I was like really stressed out about getting an OSU because I had no backup plan. That was like my thing. That's what I was gonna do. I was like, I only applied to one graduate school and I didn't know what I was gonna do if I didn't get in. And everyone kept telling me I was gonna get in, and I didn't really believe them because I'm a hypocrite and I don't believe what people say the nice things about me. So what I do, obviously, uh, I got in and I sent them a little prayer card, and I put it in a box on the way out from the little church tour that they gave us. And hold on, I apologize. Can you see me now? Okay. And it was really sweet. And I totally forgot that this happened until I told it to one of my coworkers yesterday. And I was like, oh my God, I know what I'm gonna tell people. I know what I'm gonna tell the masses on YouTube this week. And so that's how I got in. That's how monks helped me get into OSU. Uh, and you learn some stuff. You learn some things about where I've been and a cool agriculture place. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a lovely day. Hope you have learned some stuff. I hope you have some stuff to contemplate and Google. Um, and let's start a conversation. Uh, drop some likes, comments, subscriptions, extra credit if I'm teaching currently may or may not be involved. So yeah, I hope you have a lovely day and I will see you next week. Have a great day.